some even worse Okay, I'll call to order the Wickliffe City Council meeting of April 12th, 2021. Sandy, please call the roll.
Bogo,
Present.
Gerhardstein,
Here.
Jaworski,
Here.
Koski. I did not see her come on yet.
Okay,
Levon,
here.
Sakis,
Here.
Piloto.
Here.
Approval of council minutes.
Make a motion, we accept.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Gerhardstein, seconded by Councilman Bogo to approve the council minutes of March 22nd, 2021 as presented. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Bogo,
Yes.
Gerhardstein,
Yes.
Jaworski,
Yes.
Koski. Not here yet. Levon,
Yes.
Sakis,
Yes.
Piloto.
Yes.
Reports, communications from the mayor, safety director. John, your mic's not working.
Ed, I do have his written report. He just sent it to me. So if you would like, and we can't get him connected, I can read it or up to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
There he is.
there we go.
All right, yeah, I jumped on the city laptop. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. What a beautiful weekend at Colby Park. I attended the Rose Garden cleanup Saturday, cleaned beds, planted new flowers, mulched the entire garden. Thanks to all volunteers, Vision, Wickliffe.
Thanks to volunteers.
Are you guys getting the echo on this?
Yes.
I don't know why. Should I keep reading, or is it too bad to understand?
Now it's good.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so Rose Garden cleanup on Saturday, great group of folks. There was probably 20, 25 folks there, got a lot done. Thanks to Green Vision and Wickliffe, they donated a pallet of mulch, and Councilman Gerhardstein was there as well. So over the past few weeks, we've been preparing for Robert Street and Lakeland Boulevard to be repaved. I know they talked about some sewer issues along Lakeland. Ron might talk more about that today. The hiring of one new service worker, which we're getting close there, and the reopening of the community center, amongst other activities. Robert Street will include the planting of trees, just as we did on Homewood. I think we just need to make that common practice every street we do with getting tree lawn trees for whoever wants them. Thanks to all the directors and the staff keeping operations moving smoothly and doing an amazing job representing the city so well. You know, we've had thousands of people. I know we've talked about this so many times. We've had thousands of people coming into the city, getting their COVID vaccines, and literally from people across the county, I hear nothing but compliments. So again, thank you to everyone for that. Monica and I met with a Wickliffe company who will be expanding on the west side of town, hopefully see a CRA application in the next few weeks. The other opportunity we talked about on that side of town is still pending. They're waiting on information from Jobs Ohio, so nothing else we can do at this point, just sort of waiting. Lifeguards are still difficult to find at this point for everybody. Definitely could impact pool hours and operations, hopefully not too much. You know, if there is a shortage of staff when the pool opens, my first thought was not open the lazy river because that takes 6 lifeguards just for that section. And then look at the ginger hours of operation, how we can consider and adjust that. As Tim and I have discussed this and amongst ourselves and other neighboring cities, our problem is not unique. Willoughby has plans to only open 1 pool at this point. You know, having said that, I don't think council should have passed the ordinance mandating that both pools are open just because we don't know what situations are out of our control. I would call on council to actually rescind that ordinance before we get into the summer. Last week, a few of our first responders were recognized by the Cleveland Clinic for their actions on a call weeks prior, where a young man almost lost his arm in a salt spreader. We really have a great team of men and women in our fire and police departments. I mean, this was the fire department, but the men and women in the fire and police departments, they do an amazing job keeping this community and everyone in it safe. Kudos to them and the chiefs as well for the ongoing training and leadership. A quick reminder for upcoming events, Memorial Day Parade will be held as usual with no restrictions. I've only gotten a couple questions so far, but we're going to pretend it's 2019 and this never happened, and we're going to have a nice time. The Community Cleanup Day will be held on May 15th. Folks can email myself. My wife's helping organize, or really anybody on Keep Wickliffe Beautiful, to be assigned a location. If they don't want to meet us down at the community center, they can always just get coordinated beforehand to see what area needs to be cleaned up. And lastly, I hope council takes a long-term view tonight and authorizes us to move forward on the Euclid Avenue planning. I've built a lot of relationships the past few years. Several properties have changed ownership, and many more are for sale as we started enforcing the vacant building ordinance in 2018. But now's the time to act and plan for the next 10 to 15 years. Let's keep the momentum going. Back to you, Mr. President.
Any questions or comments for the Mayor, Safety Director? Thank you, Mayor. Reports and communications from the Director of Law.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I do want to inform council of the status of one of the lawsuits that was regarding the Pavlecki property, where we were named a defendant in that lawsuit in a foreclosure action and a breach of contract action. Last Tuesday, April 6th, after we went through the discovery process, the plaintiff did dismiss the lawsuit with prejudice, and something kind of unusual. They paid for all the parties' costs as well too. So not only are we dismissing the lawsuit, but we didn't have to pay any court costs. So that lawsuit is over. So just wanted to inform council, and that's all I have.
Any questions or comments for the Law Director?
Scott, how many more lawsuits do we have pending at this point in time?
Off the top of my head, I want to say we have two lawsuits that are currently ongoing. Possibly one, I'm not sure if they've actually filed yet or just sent us complaints. It's two lawsuits currently going.
Thank you.
Any further questions or comments for the Law Director? Thank you, Mr. Zealy. Reports and communications from the Council President. We have a liquor license renewal for the Speedy Gas LLC at 29849 Lakeland LLC at 29849 Lakeland Boulevard. If the council person of that ward has any objection, please let the council clerk know.
I have none.
Thank you. Any amendments or additions to the agenda?
Ed, I'm not sure if you saw my email. I did confirm civil service appointments. So new business item C, the mayor's appointment, civil service.
Yes. So we'll add to new business C, Civil Service Commission appointee.
Thank you.
Any further amendments or additions to the agenda? If not, we'll move on to the administrators. Please, Chief Ice.
Thank you, Mr. President. The only thing I'd like to add to my monthly report is, council's aware we had a couple of break-ins at Dr. Savitz's office. The two people that broke in there, we have identified. One we arrested and he confessed to the crime, but then he failed to show up for his court date. And the second guy, we have warrants for his arrest and he'll be in custody shortly. The arson fire that we experienced on 29514 Euclid Avenue is being reviewed by the prosecutor to see if charges would be appropriate. Gun confiscations are up. We've confiscated 7 guns in the last 13 days. So at that pace, we'll far exceed what we confiscated in 2019. And currently, we are at full staffing in regards to COVID. We don't have any employees out with COVID. That concludes my report.
Any questions or comments for the police chief? Thank you, Chief Ice. Fire Chief Powers.
Thank you, Council President. As you recall, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the fire department increased their ISO rating. That's a independent outside agency that comes in and rates our fire department. For the first time back 6 years ago, we went from an ISO classification 4 to a 3. We were just recently recertified as that 3. So we're maintaining that rating, which is very good, has a very high standard to meet, and we're doing it well. As far as our vaccination programs going across the county, we're one of the leaders in the state of Ohio. I believe we may be the top county in productivity as far as vaccinations in counties over 60,000 in population. And to that point, if any of our residents need a vaccination in this county, there should be no reason why, if anybody wants a vaccine, they shouldn't be getting it. If they can't get it online, they can go online to the Lake County General Health District's website, or on Mondays and Tuesdays, they can call 350-2684 and talk directly to somebody at the county who will help them register. In addition, both Jerry at the Senior Center and Sandy at City Hall have been helping residents register. But there's plenty of vaccine. We're pretty good at it, and we're moving forward. The Wickliffe Cares program, I'm sure Councilman Sakis may discuss a little bit more. We're moving along with that, and we're putting 3 Knox boxes in for residents this week. And this is all, once again, part of the 100th anniversary of the fire department in this community. So you may see some banners and some emblems on the side of the fire trucks. We're quite proud of that. That's all I have, Council President.
Any questions or comments for the fire chief? Councilman Gerstein.
Chief, can we have that number one more time?
Sure, it's area code 440-350-2684, and they're manning that phone number Monday and Tuesday. So,
Thank you, Chief.
sure.
Any further questions or comments for the fire chief? Thank you, Chief Powers. Finance Director Doles.
Thank you, Council President. I would just hope that you all had a chance to look over my monthly report, but just to give you a couple highlights. At the end of March, our general fund carryover was $6.3 million, which we had a really good March income tax collection. The advance was very healthy. And that indicates to me that people are filing and paying their taxes a little bit early this year. And also we received the first half of 2020, the property tax settlement that normally we would receive in April. That came a little bit early this year, but all in all, things are looking pretty positive. So that's all I have for tonight.
Any questions or comments for the Finance Director? Councilman Jaworski.
Do you expect the pushing back of the tax filing deadline at the federal and local level to then have any impact on the rest or remainder of those taxes not filed at this point in time?
It'll be a timing difference. From what I'm seeing, I don't think it'll be a big impact because this was substantially higher than last March's advance. But I mean, people do procrastinate by nature, so I would imagine that there will be some stragglers, but it all by the end of the year will be evened out.
Any further questions or comments for the finance director? Thank you, Mr. Olson. Engineer Formica.
Thank you, Council President. I have nothing to add to my written report.
Any questions or comments for the city engineer? Councilman Garrett.
Pete, on Lakeland Boulevard, when it starts this year, where it's going from Warden Road to east, is that even going to include the intersection at Warden, or is that going to be?
Yes.
That
Yes, I'm planning on going about maybe 20, 30 feet beyond the intersection so that we can have a clean line. I don't know if I mentioned to council last time, I did attend a pre-construction meeting for the State Route 2 improvements, the ODOT meeting, and they are planning on starting up in the next month here, but it will not affect our Warden Road bridge underpass until next year, this construction. So that's it. Next year we'll have one-way traffic under there during the construction months, during the summer and fall, but not during the winter. So we're good for this summer, and the construction is supposed to start up over there.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you.
Any further questions or comments for the city engineer? Thank you, Mr. Formica. Service Director Strouser.
Thank you, Council President. Yeah, I have a few things I wanted to add to my report. We did end shift. All shifts are back. Everyone's back on first shift now. Everything's going decent in the service department. Homewood, they are started back up on that. They're moving along very quickly with the aprons on Homewood, and they'll be back after that to do the sidewalks. But they're already almost done with the entire street in a matter of a week. So we're very pleased with their progress there. The Lakeland Boulevard sewer, we had a few issues. My truck broke, so we're still cleaning that sewer. It's really becoming a bear, but it's just time consuming, and we just really don't have the manpower to clean it like we'd like to. But we're moving along. It's just going slow. We also are very close to hiring an employee. We will be starting on the 1st of May. We're down to 2 qualified candidates, and I'm just waiting for a few background information. We didn't do a full background check, but I called some of the previous employers and things like that, a bunch of other stuff. And I'm just waiting to hear back from a few guys before we make our final decision. But I believe we have 2 good qualified candidates we're very happy with. The traffic department upgraded the crosswalk at Lubrizol there over on Lloyd Road by the railroad tracks. Lubrizol paid for all the materials, and our guys set everything up. We did some crosswalks for True Line over on North Silver, putting up some signage and things like that, having it on order. Hope we're going to have everything in place before their grand opening, which is, I believe, next Monday, I think. So the Aquatic Center's coming along great. We actually had on our second shift before we ended it, you pressure washed the whole entire outside of the building, got a lot of that black mold that was on the outside of the building off. They're just about done. They have a few more tuck pointing jobs to do, and the rest, the building itself, at least the foundation, will be in decent shape. And we're in the process of getting quotes for caulking the pool, and we're already moving forward with the pebble flex around the slide in the creative play area. And that's about all I have.
Any questions or comments for the service director? Ms. Kopke.
Ron, I was wondering how the courts at Jindra looked over the weekend.
There was a bit of garbage there this morning. I know a couple of councilmen, actually, I believe 2 of the councilmen and Bob went down there on Saturday and spoke with the individuals playing and stuff. I guess after Saturday was okay. The concession stand that it's open down there, we didn't have enough garbage cans around there, so there was a little bit of garbage around there, but that really was nothing. They tried to use the cans, they just didn't have enough place to put it. So we put a few extra cans there today, but everything's, it hasn't been as bad as it was the week before. But we've been trying to make some, headway with talking to them and telling them, hey, look, either clean up or we're going to close the court. So we'll see what happens with that.
What about the courts at the other parks?
There's a little bit at Inahar. Inahar actually only put up 1 hoop at Inahar to just kind of to deter a little bit of games and more people there. there's still quite a bit of play there, even though there's only one hoop there. I drive by there every day on my way home. There was probably 25 kids there playing at 5 o'clock tonight. So,
Wow.
but that's not as bad. But yes, there definitely is still. People just have to learn to use the trash receptacles, and I don't know how to get it in their head. But there is still a little bit of an issue.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Sakis.
Yes, so thank you, Ron, for adding signs. Also, when we went to the basketball courts, one of the gentlemen playing said it would be helpful to put a sign inside the court above the benches because that's where they sit and drink. So I believe you guys did that, or I thought I saw one there today. And so I'm at Ginger during the week and a lot because of fast pitch. So I'm also going to keep an eye and we're cool. It's not like we go in and yell at anybody. We're just
I get it.
say, hey, we don't want you guys to lose the hoops. So
yeah,
so here we get it. You want to blow off steam, but try to be respectful. So thank you.
Councilman Gerstein.
Ron, do you have any scheduling on when you think the sidewalks will be washed on Euclid Avenue?
No, because I would the same truck that washes the sidewalks on the avenue is the one that cleans the sewer on Lakeland, and that just has to be our priority so I can get that done and cameraed.
Okay.
But it will 100% be done before Memorial Day, no matter what.
Okay.
That's as good as answer I can give you.
Ron, you mentioned Innahar Park in the basketball courts there. Are we planning on removing that other rim? We typically don't have any rims up at Innahar during baseball season, and that's starting up soon. Are we going to remove that one rim before baseball season or no?
I didn't have any intention on it, but if it's whatever the mayor and you guys prefer, I'm open to anything. We did put and I did want to mention too, we did have the restrooms at Lower Colby Pond lot is open. Orlando is open now. Both ones at Ginder are open. And there is a portalette at Innahar and there's a portalette at Featherston, which they knocked over on the weekend, but we took care of that today. So, so at least the only ones that don't have it is Levi Lane and Nellis Park yet. And hopefully we get them open this week.
Councilwoman Koski.
What about the restrooms over by the tennis courts at Colby? Because Wickliffe High School is playing up there all their home games.
Yeah, I have a portalette right outside there, and Mike's actually going to start. Hopefully, we're going to get that open later on this week. I'm hoping that's actually going to be the next one we open. So I did forget about I did that one. The problem is we have to pretty much turn the water onto the whole pool when that happens. So
okay, all right.
so it's a little bit more involved than just turning on some water.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Councilman Jaworski.
Ron, in the recent state transportation budget that was passed, I want to make you aware, they added something called a catastrophic snowfall aid for 16 inches or more in 24 hours. Maybe something to look into. I don't quite know exactly what it entails, but it could mean potentially if we have some kind of major snowstorm like we did a few years back, that we could be able to maybe recoup some money for plowing that we did during that kind of snow.
No, that's great information. I didn't know anything about it. Thank you.
Any further questions or comments for the service director? Thank you, Mr. Strauser. Building Commissioner Sack.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I just have a couple things I want to add to my report. Received a couple site plans for 2 new builds, one on Bellevue and one on 296th. And I'm expecting the plans to be in my office by the end of this week, and quite a few additions going on also. I have.
Any questions or comments for the building commissioner? Thank you, Mr. Sack. Recreation Director Stop.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. A lot of things have been touched on with recreation already. We're in full swing for summer activities already, planning those. Probably late next week, the connection's going to be out. Now we'll have all of our summer activities in there. We have dropped our summer camp registration. It's online right now, so people can start signing up for summer camp. And we have had about 10 people sign up so far for summer camp. That just started a week ago today, last Monday. So we're in the midst of that. Just want to echo the mayor's comments about lifeguards. We need lifeguards. So if anybody has a kid or knows of anybody who wants to be a lifeguard, we definitely need them. We typically need, 60 lifeguards to make all three aquatic amenities work between the Sprite Park and Ginger Park and the Aquatic Center, between full-time, part-time, and substitute guards. So there is a need for that. And like the mayor said, other communities are similarly, reaching for guards also. So they're a high commodity right now. So that's it.
Any questions or comments for the Recreation Director? Councilwoman Saloto. Maria, you're on mute.
All right, sorry about that.
No
I
problems.
want to ask about the lifeguard. So tell me the number that you need again.
Well, it takes about 65 total between the two pools and the Sprite Park. That's a combination of full-time, part-time, and substitute guards. So
Yes, I want to make sure I had the right number, because I thought.
Yeah.
maybe-
Yeah.
But so do you guys offer classes for the lifeguard, or do they have to go to, where do they go to do lifeguard training?
Willoughby has a couple classes that are going to be offered, before the season begins. The Red Cross offers some classes. Sometimes there's classes at the Y. Obviously, you're stuck to places where there's indoor pools, at this time. We always try to have a lifeguard class in Wickliffe, but it's always a struggle to have the pool up and ready to go, a week before, the open of season, so that we can have a class. So, and our instructor from the last couple of years has left us. So we're kind of scrambling to find an instructor to even offer a class this year.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yes.
Councilman Sakis.
Tim, what are we normally at? Are we, the difference from this year or years past, do you normally have many applications at this point? You don't, or, right? And then when do they need to be in by? So I guess like orientation, you would say a week before the pool opens?
No. We typically have 3 staff meetings in May, two full meetings, to get the schedule all finalized and to, go through policies and procedures. And then that third meeting is the week before the pool opens. So, we need guards now, in the next 2-3 weeks, we're going to be, sending out those letters, offering guards jobs and their positions, and when those staff meetings are going to take place. So we're down to, next 2-3 weeks to get a good feel for, how many guards we're going to have.
Okay. Oh, you'll know that in a couple of weeks, how many you have right now total?
Right now I'm short 40.
Oh, and is it in the Wickliffe connection?
Yes, it's in the connection. It was on our Facebook page, and it's also on the city's website too. The application is there that people can click on that and fill out the application and, send it back our way, and it goes straight to Becky.
Okay. Thank you.
It's under the employment tab on the city's homepage.
Okay.
Any further question? Councilman Bogo?
Yes, I'd like to ask Tim, can you remind the people of the seniors meeting time that we're trying to organize so that they can be invited?
I'm not sure what you're asking, Councilman Bogo.
Well, we have the seniors citizens have our meeting once a month at the community center.
The board meeting?
The board meeting. And we
Yeah,
want
I don't have it at the tip of my tongue here, Councilman Bogo. I'll have to, we can post that online. We'll put that on the city's website also.
yeah, I think it's, it's a Friday. I think we moved it to Friday.
I'd have to check that again. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I just like to remind people because they should attend this. It's very
Sure.
important. Okay, thank you.
Any further questions or comments for the Recreation Director? Thank you, Mr. Stop. Economic Development Manager Drake.
Thank you, Council President. Mayor Barbish reviewed 2 of the items that I was going to report on, so you have the update on these. I wanted to mention to everyone that while meeting with the business expressed their gratitude to the city to have that we heard their concerns on the condition of the road adjacent to their business and move forward to having it repaved. So thank you to Pete to making sure the project was done, and to council and the mayor for permitting the project to move forward. I assisted a business in recommending locations that they might that might work for their business within the city. He is currently in the city and will be moving his operation location and would like to continue here in the city. So had that discussion with him. I met with a local commercial real estate broker to review Wickliffe commercial properties that are available for businesses. He has mentioned a couple times to me that previously that he gets calls for businesses looking for locations. So I wanted to ensure he was well aware of what we have here in the city. So we met a week or so ago to review that. The required community reinvestment area annual reports have been submitted to the state of Ohio's Development Services Agency. So we are current with that. And also, I'm not sure if I mentioned previously, but want to make sure you're aware that the city has received 2 residential community reinvestment area applications for new construction projects, which are in the process, which are being processed at this time. And with that, I am happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments for the Economic Development Manager? Thank you, Ms. Drake. I will now open the floor for audience participation. If anyone would like to address the council and mayor, please state your name and address for the council clerk's record. Each person will have a 5-minute max amount of time. Would anyone like to address Wickliffe City Council? Mr. Liss.
Jim Liss, 29717 Arthur Avenue. I don't know who to ask, but why is the crosswalk sign always blinking when you're going south on Lloyd Road by Lubrizol? I'm thinking there's somebody in a crosswalk. And there never is. Is that the way Lubrizol wants it, or because it's?
Yes, sir. It's to alert people that there's a crosswalk there, because there could be somebody in it at any time. So we should always exercise caution.
I do. Okay, I just wondered.
Good. Drive safe.
I try. Also, I'm glad Green Ridge is open. I've been on it and I've enjoyed it.
Nice.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Milasek.
Good evening, everyone. Let me just see. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I don't know if we need camera on or not, but my name is Josie Milisic. My residential address 6194 Brooks Boulevard, Menor, Ohio 44060. And the residence in question that I have is 1522 East 289th Street in Wickliffe. So most of you guys know me and my family. We own Casa Divino restaurant in Wickliffe. We also bought a residential property there as well. And what I'm trying to do here is talk to the city council to see, actually we're looking to rezone the property, which is general business zone right now. We only found that out, well, later when we tried to sell it and the bank refused to finance the property because it was zoned general business. So in order to do that, City of Wickliffe is asking us to put it on a ballot, which is totally fine. And we understand that's how it works. And we are in agreement with it. So during pandemic or other cities that do, there's 2 ways for this issue to go on a ballot: by council member passing the resolution and putting it on a ballot for us, for residents to vote if this house should be rezoned back to the residential property, or the other way is for a person seeking for rezoning changes, such as myself, to go circulate petition and get a minimum of 514 signatures, registered voter signatures, which Board of the Election suggests us to get 1.5 times of minimum required signatures, which brings us up to 771 registered voter signatures. So during pandemic, we're asked, well, in this, I'm sorry, if I'm correct, during this pandemic, when we want to limit the amount of contact people have, there's an opportunity for city council to do this by resolution rather than alternative that we circulate our own petition. We're willing to do so if the city of council doesn't believe that it's appropriate during a pandemic to pass the resolution. So the only thing tonight that I'm seeking here is alternative method in how to put this issue on a ballot. It's not rather the residents will vote. Of course they will. It's how to get on a ballot. Either we circulate and collect 514 registered voter signatures, or city of council members will pass the resolution for us. So the only thing we're looking to, if is possible to assist us in passing the resolution. So we would limit going door to door during pandemic and spreading, well, not saying that we have COVID, but possible people getting infected and not being safe for us residents or the people that are going to help us circulate. So regardless, either city assist us in putting it on a ballot by passing a resolution, or we go out there ourselves and collect enough signatures. The voters, the residents get to vote either or.
Mrs. Milisek, if I could chime in for a moment, Mr. President, I'll give it back to you in a moment. Thank you. I'm in full support of this. I've been vocal about this before, social media, prior council meetings. I've emailed this to the entirety of council. This burden should not be on you as the business owner. This mistake was made decades ago. It's a blatant mistake. It's a house. It's not a warehouse. And for these wonderful people who have struggled to run their business during this pandemic and during these health department restrictions, to place further burdens on them, it's frankly, it's a smack in the face. You have the authority to put this on the ballot, council, just as you did for Sweetberry, which was also a mistake. And that was for a drastic change. They were building a commercial building on a residential lot. This is a residential house that they've sunk a lot of money into to fix, and now they can't sell it. And it's been 6 or 7 months. I implore all of you to do what's right, what you know is right, and pass this resolution. Thank you.
Councilman Sakis.
Was this a city mistake on the zoning? Was this a mistake made by the city? Because I know Sweetberry, the issue was a city mistake and we were righting a wrong. And like the tapestry issue, the tapestry, did they had to get signatures to be put on the ballot, or was it by council?
Well, when I say mistake, I mean, it was done 50 years ago, probably. And Pete has the dates. It was a long time ago when it should have never been general business. It's a house. So nothing happened recently.
Okay, and last thing is, when they purchased the house, how did they not know this was commercial?
I think they bought it cash, which is why.
Okay.
Correct.
I don't know.
Regardless, did we know or not, we're just asking actually
understand.
either city assist us with putting it by passing the resolution, or we go out there and collect this 514 minimum required signatures, not the 25. I believe one of the
Yeah.
Mr.
misspoke
Levon
on that.
actually
Yeah,
posted
I
on.
misspoke on that. I'll admit that I made a mistake on social media and I posted the wrong number. I agree. Josie, here's my suggestion is that I will put this in the committee of the whole for the commission, the council to discuss next Monday. And then the committee can make a decision on what direction we want to go with. I do know that the law director has recommended that we don't set this precedent by doing it for residents. So
But we're not doing it for residents.
No,
Residents
no, no,
get
no,
to
no,
vote
no,
on
no,
it regardless.
No, not that in that state, in the state about making the changes through council. It's a precedent that we typically do not want to set for anybody. But that's a discussion we'll have next Monday. As I'm going to call, put this 1522 East 289th Street rezoning into the committee of the whole, and we could discuss this next week in a meeting, in an open meeting. If you don't mind, if you just wait one more week, then we can make a decision out of that committee.
I mean, I appreciate you guys giving me opportunity to speak tonight. And the only thing is, I don't want residents to think we're changing. I'm not putting in a commercial building, or it's simply a house that we're trying to put back in a residential, as a residential property.
Understand. Councilwoman Koski.
Joe, I just wanted to let you know that at one time, the former owners of the Casa Divino property, they used that house to make wine in, I believe. So it was used as a commercial building at one time. So that's how it ended up changed. But I would be in favor of changing it to residential. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, Ms. Millsack, we're going to put that in the committee of the whole. We'll discuss that next week. If you want to attend that meeting, you're more than welcome. I will have it all over the website, but next meeting next Monday. Okay.
Well, I appreciate your guys' time. Thank you so much. And you enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to address Wickliffe City Council? Would anyone else like to address Wickliffe City Council? If not, I'll mark audience participation closed. Committee reports. I should have done this last meeting, so I'll make a motion to authorize the law director to create legislation for the contract with MS Consulting for the economic development of Euclid Avenue RFP.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Levon, seconded by Councilwoman Saloto to authorize the law director to create legislation for the contract with MS Consulting for the economic development of Euclid Avenue RFP. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Bogo,
Yes.
Gerhardstein,
Yes.
Jaworski,
Yes.
Koski,
No.
Levon,
Yes.
Sakis,
No.
Saludo,
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Any other committee reports? Councilman Jaworski.
Technically, I'm sorry, Mr. Council, it'd be a commission report.
Yeah, no more. Okay. Seeing no other committee reports, commission reports, Councilman Jaworski.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. The Planning Commission met on Thursday, April 1st at 6 p.m. to discuss the request for information and guidance on removal of referendum zoning. The draft of these minutes are 37 pages long and have not yet been approved by the Planning Commission, so I will just summarize them at this point in time to save everyone from hearing me drone on for about a half an hour. But the city has asked the Planning Commission to look into referendum zoning, and we discussed the topic on many different angles, and some direction was given to the Planning Commission, who will be meeting again during their May meeting to actually look at potential language as conceived by the law director and other members of the Planning Commission, and potentially City Council as well. So we will review those, review that, and make a recommendation back to City Council after that meeting. And the meeting was adjourned at 7:18, respectfully submitted.
Any other commission reports? Seeing no old new business, we'll move to new business A, the mayor's appointment of records commission member.
Yes, thank you, sir. I'd like to appoint Mr. Scott Tennant to the Records Commission with a term to expire December 31st, 2026. If council could affirm that.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to reaffirm the mayor's appointment of Scott Tennant to the records commission with a term to expire December 31st, 2026.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Levon, second by Councilman Sakis to reaffirm the mayor's appointment of Scott Tennant to the Records Commission with a term to expire December 31st, 2026. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Bogo,
Yes.
Gerhardstein,
Yes.
Jaworski,
Yes.
Kowski,
Yes.
Levon,
Yes.
Sakis,
Yes.
Saloto,
Yes.
New business B, mayor's appointment of an environmental commission member.
Yes, I'd like to appoint Mr. Paul Infield to fill an unexpired term of Lil Barnes with a term to expire December 31st, 2023.
Councilman Garrettstein?
I recommend we take the mayor's appointment to the environmental committee.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Garrettstein and seconded by Councilman Sakis to reaffirm the mayor's appointment of Paul Infield as the environmental commission member with a term to expire December 31st, 2023. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Bogo,
Yes.
Gerhardstein,
Yes.
Jaworski,
Yes.
Kowski,
Yes.
Levon,
Yes.
Sakis,
Yes.
Saloto,
Yes.
New business C, Civil Service Commission member, mayor's appointment.
Yes, I'd like to appoint Mr. Robert Heiss to fill an unexpired term from Michael Casadante, whose term will expire December 31st, 2025.
I'll make a motion to reaffirm the mayor's appointment of Robert Heiss to the Civil Service Commission with a term to expire December 31st, 2025.
Second.
Moved by Council President Levon, seconded by Councilwoman Saloto to reaffirm the mayor's appointment of Robert Heiss to the Civil Service Commission with a term to expire December 31st, 2025. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Bogo,
Yes.
Gerhardstein,
Yes.
Jaworski,
Yes.
Kowski,
Yes.
Levon,
Yes.
Sakis,
Yes.
Saloto,
Yes.
Ordinances.
Ordinance number 2021-14, an ordinance amending chapter 14603, Planning Commission fees, special deposits of the codified ordinances of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio, second reading. Ordinance number 2021-15, an ordinance amending chapter 146.04, Building Commissioner fees of the codified ordinances of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio, second reading. Ordinance number 2021 modified -16, an ordinance enacting a 2021 modified chapter 1115 of the codified ordinances of the city of Wickliffe entitled Flood Damage Reduction, first reading. Ordinance number 2021-17. An ordinance enacting a 2021 modified chapter 116 of the codified ordinances of the city of Wickliffe entitled Erosion and Sediment Control. First reading. Ordinance number 2021-18. An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Wickliffe, Ohio to enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation for the provision of road salt and declaring an emergency.
Suspension.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Kowski, seconded by Councilman Sakis, to suspend the rules of council and place ordinance 2021-18 on third and final reading. Discussion? Councilman Jaworski.
Just one, how does this compare to past years?
This one is 2,000 tons is the amount. I can buy up to 2,200 ton. That was the same exact amount we asked for last year, but less than previous years. To the best of my knowledge, we probably used about 2,200 tons of salt this past winter. And, but our salt bin's pretty full, so I'm pretty comfortable with that number.
Ron, how's in terms of the cost compared to prior years too?
Yeah, that unfortunately, we don't know until the bids go out. We have to commit right now, and then we don't really know what the pricing is going to be until afterwards. We have to commit before the end of the month, and then the bids are open next month. And I'll certainly let you know what they are.
Thank you. I forgot it worked that way.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Bogo,
Yes.
Gerhardstein,
Yes.
Jaworski,
Yes.
Kosky,
Yes.
Levon,
Yes.
Sakis,
Yes.
Saloto,
Yes.
Adoption.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Sakis, seconded by Councilman Bogo to adopt ordinance 2021-18 as presented. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Bogo,
Yes.
Gerhardstein,
Yes.
Jaworski,
Yes.
Kosky,
Yes.
Levon,
Yes.
Sakis,
Yes.
Saloto,
Yes.
Ordinance number 2021-19, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of one new Caterpillar skid steer loader with requested equipment for use by the Service Department of the City of Wickliffe, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Suspension.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Saloto, seconded by Councilman Bogo to suspend the rules of council and place ordinance 2021-19 on third and final reading. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Bogo,
Yes.
Gerhardstein,
Yes.
Jaworski,
Yes.
Kosky,
Yes.
Levon,
Yes.
Sakis,
Yes.
Saloto,
Yes.
Adoption.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Gerhardstein, seconded by Councilman Sakis to adopt ordinance 2021-19 as presented. Discussion. Sandy, please call the roll.
Bogo,
Yes.
Gerhardstein,
Yes.
Jaworski,
Yes.
Kosky,
Yes.
Levon,
Yes.
Sakis,
Yes.
Saloto,
Yes.
Seeing no resolutions, we move on to other legislation. Miscellaneous. I'm going to call to order the committee of the whole to discuss 1522 East 289th Street rezoning for a meeting on Monday, April 19th at 7 p.m. Any other miscellaneous? If not, we'll move on to adjournment.
Make a motion.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Sakis, seconded by Councilman Saloto to adjourn the meeting. Discussion? Sandy, please call the roll.
Bogo,
Yes.
Gerhardstein,
Yes.
Jaworski,
Yes.
Kosky,
Yes.
Levon,
Yes.
Sakis,
Yes.
Saloto,
Yes.
All right, thank you, guys. See you next Monday.
Bye, guys. Have a nice night.